Today in the Esotoin kitchen, I have a chicken stuffed wrap. This wrap is stuffed with some smoked turkey, red beans, and rice. This recipe is inspired by the Popeyes Stuffed Chicken wrap, but I made it my way. This wrap was amazing with the chicken, the red beans, and rice. Let me show you how to make it. Now, this recipe will require some prep, so the night before, grab you some red beans. I have a 1 pound bag of red beans. Red beans and kidney beans are two different things. Now, I put the red beans in a container and I filled it with water. You want to fill it with water just enough so that way it covers all of the beans, just like that. You want to make sure you have more than enough water to cover the beans. Overnight, you want to allow them to soak, and guess what? The next day they're going to double in size. You see that? It doubled in size. You will need to do this the night before so that way it can double in size. Now, starting with the recipe. Now, we need to make our holy trinity. We have some celery, green peppers, and onions. We want to chop them up until it looks just like that. And if you are new here, all of the ingredients will be in the description for you to follow. If you are returning, you know how I do over here. Now, I grabbed me some andouille sausage from the local grocery store. Now, I'll leave it up to you if you're making this recipe. You can use the whole sausage or half the sausage. You can adjust the recipe to your desire, okay? Now, I'm going to slice the sausage diagonally so that way I can get a good sear on all of the sausage, because we're going to add that holy trinity mix to the pan right after we sear the sausage. It is going to be amazing. You see how it's cut? That's exactly how you want your sausage to look. It's about presentation as well, okay? Now, let's add this to a skillet. The skillet is on medium-high heat. We want to add the andouille sausage to the skillet, and we are going to get a good sear just until the sausage is nice and brown, got a nice crust on it. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to overcook it. Soon as you get a good crust on it, to your liking of course, then we're going to remove it from the pot, okay? Now, I'm going to flip the sausage. I want to make sure I have a nice sear on every piece of sausage that's in this skillet. However, I'm not going to clean the skillet out when I move to my next step. Now just look. You hear that? Beauty. Now listen, it looks good. I'm ready to take it out. You ready to take it out? Come on, let's take it out the skillet. Now put it in a bowl and set it aside. We will need it later. However, do not clean out the skillet, folks. If you're following this recipe, add your holy trinity mix, which is your green bell peppers, your onions, and your celery. Add it right to that skillet with all of that fat from the sausage. That fat from the sausage will soak up into that holy trinity mixture, but to that I'm going to add some slap your mama Cajun seasoning. Now this Cajun seasoning will help the holy trinity to release some of the water. It will soften this holy trinity mixture, but also add some good flavor. So it's good to saute this on medium-high heat, add your seasoning to that, and adjust as you desire. Remember, it's your recipe. I'm only here to guide you. Now, to elevate it even more, I'm going to add some butter. About a tablespoon of butter to this mixture. I'm going to saute down this holy trinity, and it should look just like this. Simply amazing. Now, forgive me, I did not show on camera, but I did add minced garlic to this mixture. I did that last so that way the garlic does not burn. Now, we are starting with our crock pot. You will need non-stick spray for your crock pot. Now we're going to drain our red beans. We're going to add that right to the crock pot, just like that. So I drained the red beans that we let soak overnight, and then I'm going to add my smoked turkey. Yes, this is pre-smoked turkey wings from my local grocery store. Now the turkey wings does add flavor. You can use a turkey drum if you like, but I'm using turkey wings for this recipe. Now I add that to the crock pot. Now I have my holy trinity mixture with my bell peppers, my onions, celery, and my minced garlic. I added that right on top of the smoked turkey, the pre-smoked turkey, and then we want to add the andouille sausage to this mixture just like that. And we are just layering everything into the crock pot. It's so simple and easy. Now I'm adding my chicken broth to my ingredients in the crock pot. Now this first pour is a very concentrated mixture of chicken bouillon and water. So the second pour is just plain water. This is only 4.5 cups. You can go up to 5 depending on the size of your turkey wings, but you do not want to overfill your crock pot with too much water. You do not want red bean soup, okay? Now I'm adding 2 thyme springs to this crock pot mixture along with a bay leaf, and we're going to cover this and allow this to go for about 4.5 hours on high heat. Okay, so I'm going to cover this, allow it to go for 4.5 hours on high heat. While the crock pot is going, I have boneless chicken breast. I'm going to cut the chicken breast into chicken strips. Now the size, I'm going to leave that up to you. The size can be whatever size you want. I'm going to cut these down. I get about 3 strips out of each chicken breast, and look, a nice medium size, not too large. But guess what? You can cut them down however you like. Remember, I'm only here to guide you. All right, so once we have the chicken strips cut, I'm transferring the chicken strips to a bowl, and I'm going to season it. I'm going to season it with what? Some yellow mustard. This is going to be our binder. No egg. This is going to be like a mustard fried chicken strip that we're going to do, okay? So I added some yellow mustard along with some onion powder, just like that. And then to that, I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to continue to season my chicken strips with black pepper along with some Sazón Complete, some smoked paprika that's going to add some color, some chili powder that's going to add some heat, and some hot sauce that's going to add some more heat to this. And slap your mama seasoning, of course, that's going to elevate the flavor. I'm going to give this a good mix. Now, this is the time where you allow this to marinate in the fridge while the red beans is cooking in the crock pot. So go ahead and put that aside in the fridge. Now let's go ahead and check on our crock pot to see what's going on. Now look. Ooh, now look, this is a couple hours in and it's starting to look real good. Moving to our seasoned flour mixture, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more recipes from Eats with Twan. So with some all-purpose flour, about 1.5 cups, some cornstarch for some crispiness. To that, I'm going to use the same seasonings we use to season the chicken: smoked paprika, Cajun seasoning, black pepper, Sazón Complete, onion powder, garlic powder, and we're going to mix it. Now I'm mixing it just to see if I need to add anything else, and then I decided, you know what, let me add some chili powder to this mixture along with some Italian seasoning. Yes, add that to the mixture, give it another whisk, and we're going to cover it and set it aside because we're going to check our red beans and smoked turkey. Now look at this, folks. Woo, we got the meat falling off the bone. Now this is the time where you take the bones out of your red beans, okay? We need everything to reduce down and soften up, so let's take the bones out. Now I took the bones out just like this. Now listen, once you take the bones out, season your mixture. I'm going to season this red beans with some Cajun seasoning. I put the cover on and allow this to go for another hour with the cover on, and then I'm going to come back after 1 hour. So after 5 hours, I checked it, the butter is melted, it's nice and creamy. Now I'm gonna allow this red beans to go for another hour uncovered, and look at the result. We have our smoked turkey red beans. Woo, look at that. Put the crock pot on the warm function, and let's move over to our chicken strips. I have my seasoned flour mixture in my batter basket that I grabbed off of Amazon. I think it's pretty cool. It takes out the hassle and the cleanup of frying chicken and coating it in messy flour. So I'm adding my chicken strips to my batter basket just like that. The goal is to coat the chicken strips completely with that seasoned flour mixture. So we're going to add that to the batter basket, and look at that chicken. It's nice and marinated. We allowed this to marinate during the time that the crock pot was cooking our red beans, smoked turkey, and sausage. So let's go. So I put the lid right on that batter basket just like that and give it a good old shake. Using all my muscles, give it a good old shake. Now after a good workout, I checked the chicken strips, and the chicken strips look amazing, nicely coated. Now I'm going to allow the chicken strips to rest for about 15 minutes while I prepare the oil. The oil will be heated at 350 degrees. After 15 minutes, add your chicken strips to the oil. Do not overcrowd your frying pan. I'm using peanut oil and the temperature is at what? 350 degrees. We're going to double fry these. So I'm going to fry these for about 8 minutes or so. Again, it did not take long to fry these chicken strips. 8 minutes is what it took for the first fry. But remember, we're going to do a double fry. So we're going to refry these to get them nice and crispy. 8 minutes for the first fry. We're going to get a nice color on it and don't overcrowd the pan. Now after the first fry, allow the chicken to rest for about 15 minutes on a wire rack, and then we're going to bring the oil back up to temperature to 350 degrees for our second fry. The second fry is not going to be as long as the first fry. The second fry is going to be about 3 minutes, and then you will check the internal temperature of your chicken strips. The internal temperature should be at 165 degrees. That's simple. Now, after 3 minutes, I'm going to take the chicken strips out of the hot oil. I'm going to put the chicken strips on a wire rack so that way the excess oil can drain. We want these chicken wings to be nice and crispy because when we add the chicken to the red beans and the rice for our stuffed chicken wrap, we don't want soggy chicken or a soggy wrap. Okay, so it's very important. So look at that chicken. Perfect. Now it's time to assemble the stuffed chicken wrap. I made some plain white rice. It is nice and fluffy. Just take a look at that. We have our fluffy plain white rice. I'm going to add the white rice to some of my red beans, smoked turkey, and sausage just like this. So I grabbed me a bowl, added some plain white rice, took a big spoonful of that red bean, smoked turkey, and sausage, and just like you're feeding a baby, you're going to mix everything up just like that. Now you're wondering, why are you mixing that, Twan? Listen, this is stuffed chicken wrap. We don't want to just bite into plain white rice. Let's mix everything together and then add it to your flour tortilla just like that. You see that? Perfect. Now, I have a plain tortilla, I have my red beans and rice, a fried chicken strip. Now look at that. Don't that look amazing? I use a medium-sized flour tortilla for this recipe, and I followed the package instructions to warm up the tortilla. Now, I scooted the mixture closer to the edge of the tortilla. I wanted to see the fried chicken strip. I wanted to see the red beans and rice with the smoked turkey and the sausage, and it looks perfect. You can add as much or as little as you like to your stuffed chicken wrap. Now, here's the tip. Use some of the gravy from the crock pot to close the creases of your tortilla so that way nothing falls out, but that's totally up to you. Just a quick tip I thought I'll share. Now it's time to give this a taste test. This stuffed chicken wrap with the red beans and rice, the fried chicken is amazing. Look at that juicy white chicken. You have your red beans and rice. You have your andouille sausage. You have your smoked turkey. This is definitely a stuffed chicken wrap. Let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate you for watching this video with me. Leave a comment, give me some feedback. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next recipe video.